Okay, I wanted to redo the video from earlier today since we didn't have a good view of the screen. This one might be a little bit quicker though, just in consideration of time. So the first thing we need to do is find our review sheet. If you go to the Final tab, you can find the multiple choice review. Once you get to that, we'll start out at the bottom here. We'll go with the smaller sections to the bigger section. So the smallest section is fireworks because it is cumulative, but there's definitely a strong emphasis on the second half of the class. So for fireworks, the first thing we should be aware of, or the first thing that's listed here, are the button states. I can find my button states listed under the class discussions tab. If I were to go up to the class discussions tab and find my interactive elements handout. This is the handout where we listed all of the button states and their definitions, so we might want to review that. The next thing on this list of tips for fireworks were our file types. So there are a few things that we're going to want to look at here. Again, we'll go back to class discussions and scroll up a little earlier in the class. We had this video, the vector versus bitmap video. We also had an example. This was the vector versus bitmap graphic example for that. We had a handout that compared file types. It compared GIFs versus JPEGs. So we're going to want to look at that. This one is really derived from that yellow book. And then in the optimization folder, and all of this is under class discussions. In the optimization folder, we have this handout here, file formats and optimization handout. On that, we will see a list of file formats: the WBMP, BMP, GIF, JPEG, PICT, PNG, TIFF. We should have a broad understanding of all of these file types and know things like which ones are larger, which ones are smaller, which ones support transparency, or is it a bitmap format or a vector format based on the graphic type. So we should just have sort of a broad understanding of all of these file formats. The last thing on here is, there's two more. The vector versus bitmap, we saw the video, I showed you that. And then the layers. We should understand the concept of layers just as a broad concept, that layers are essentially like these thin acetate sheets where things appear based on the order that they were, based on the order that those acetate, those thin transparent sheets are in. Hopefully that's a concept that people have started to grasp by now, since we've been working with that so much.